on NewsHour tonight. Accelerating action for Nigerian women as the world commemorates International Women's Day. Defying stereotypes, how Pamela Yakubu is thriving as an automotive painter in a male-dominated industry. Lagos Corps members stuck with 33,000 stipend despite new minimum wage. On a foreign scene, South Sudan general among dozens killed in attack on UN helicopter. Good evening, welcome to NewsHour on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Mwafo and happy International Women's Day. A group of women in Gombe has intensified efforts in training young girls in bag and shoemaking. According to them, equipping women with such skills will go a long way in promoting self-reliance, reducing financial dependence, and ultimately addressing issues of divorce and marital conflicts caused by economic hardships. Here's more in this report.
Coming on the heels of the 2025 International Women's Day, the training is to empower women economically and create a future where financial struggles do not lead to broken homes. According to the organizers, many women in the state depend entirely on their husband for financial support, making them vulnerable when economic challenges arise. However, by acquiring these skills, they can start their own businesses, contribute to household expenses, and even support their families independently.
Za su nuna mana cewa gaskiya sun zo ne don su iya sana'a su samu abin da za su sarrafa rayuwarsu da 'ya'yayensu.
Many women who came here confirmed that they are looking for a means of livelihood, as they were divorced or abandoned by their husbands with children to take care of. We believe that when a woman has financial independence, she has a stronger voice in her home. Many marriages fail because of financial struggle, but when a woman has a skill, she can support her family and reduce the burden on her husband. As women and girls learn these skills, we encourage them to continue using them to earn a living. By so doing, they will succeed in the future. That is why we are targeting younger ones to grow with the skills.
Some of the young girls undergoing the training also shared their thoughts.
I joined this training because I want to have my own business in the future and learn others too. I don't want to depend on anyone. I want to be able to support myself and my family. I am glad I joined the training because I have already started making shoes and bags for my sisters. They had led to a significant reduction in the cost of Salah preparation for my parents. I encourage girls to look for possible means of easing their parents' burden.
Expert say skills acquisition programs like these can play a significant role in addressing poverty and unemployment, especially among women. As more women gain financial independence, the hope is that family conflict linked to economic challenges will be significantly reduced. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
In her struggle to pursue a means of livelihood, Pamela Yakubu, a 29-year-old lady, has carved a niche as an automotive paint technician in Jos Plateau State. Having mastered the skills of automotive painting, the young lady, popularly called Ella the Painter, says she is proud of her achievements in a field dominated by men. Trust TV's Adom Musa visited Pamela at a workshop in Jos and filed this report.
Pamela, popularly called Ella the Painter, is the only person among her peers who has endured and mastered the automotive painting business. Her dedication and resilience have paid her off as she has successfully graduated. Exhibiting a passion for the job, Pamela explains what motivated her to join a venture traditionally dominated by men.
My family, most especially my mom, for the love I have for colors, especially that of cars, and the feel to learn new things, the feel to progress too, and let me say the challenges that comes with the work, and Continuous progress.
Having graduated in 2023, Pamela continues to work with her boss due to the financial constraints hindering her from starting her own workshop.
It's actually not my shop. Yes, I'm under my boss. I'm still here with him based on I do not have funds to open my own place, so I'm still here with him. My dreams are to establish my own place, like to open a workshop someday. I think soon, by God's grace, because I have plans on starting my own space, but I'm financially not buoyant for now. Yes, I'm still here.
While acknowledging the difficulties she faced, the 29-year-old expresses a growing desire to mentor and train others, particularly women who intend to join the industry.
They say what a man can do, a woman can do much more better. It is very possible, because whatever you set your mind in, you will do it. Except if you're not ready, you're not willing to do it, you're not determined to do it. If you are, you're going to achieve it. So it's as simple as that. Yes, I want to train females because I want them to be like me or even more.
Samson David is Pamela's boss. He explains her endurance and resilience while learning the job.
There is one thing about passion and determination. Well, I would just like to sum it up with those two. That was what has kept Ella till date, because we've seen instances where even men, boys, come to learn this work, but they never stay true. Some of them will do just a year, some of them will do 2 years, and they will go. That shows that they are not really out for it. But for her, it's a different story. Even being a lady, she's so determined and she has passion for the work, and she's always at it. So I know that she will, of course, make better things out of this work.
Pamela is a secondary school leaver who wishes to continue her education once she establishes her workshop and earns steady money. From Jos, Ado Musa reporting for Trust TV.
Still on women-related matters, in Rimingado local government area of Kano State, the women there are making a fortune from knitting caps, which in turn is attracting merchants from neighboring states on each market day. The carp-making business has been a game-changer for many women who rely on it for their livelihood and financial support to family members. Ahmed Dati, who recently visited the village, filed in this report.
Rimungado, located some 20 kilometers away from Kano, is known for agricultural production, especially food crops. But carp-making business is becoming an exclusive industry for many women, with male traders as the ultimate buyers. Karimatu Usman, who has been in the business for over 20 years, said she relies on carp-making to meet her daily needs and support her immediate family.
I make caps and I've been doing it for 20 years, achieving a lot through it. It helps us greatly as we sell them to earn a living. What we need for ourselves and our children, we get through this trade. It's not just me. As you can see, you've met us all busy making caps, and this place is our meeting spot. We make small, medium, and large-sized caps.
Aisha Sani said women are attracted to the business because it gives them quick money and is easy to learn.
Since we were kids, we've been taught how to make caps, starting with rags, and later moved to these types of caps. We began with smaller ones and eventually started the business on our own.
Wednesday is a typical market day, and cap merchants like Usman Idris and Maharaz Yahaya come to the market to buy caps from the women for sale in Kaduna, Katsina, Lagos, Abuja, and even outside the country.
Certainly, women also make the caps and bring them here for us to buy. They earn a living through this trade and get everything they need. We also earn a lot from it. Every week, I buy caps here for almost sale to other states and even outside Nigeria. I buy caps ranging from 3,000 to 5,000 and sometimes even 8,000 to 9,000.
Residents are hopeful that the enterprising cap business will continue to attract traders to the quiet town of Rimangado. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Kano.
In Nigeria, women make up nearly half of the population, yet they often face significant barriers to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Feminism therefore seeks to address these inequalities and promote a more just and equitable society for all. In this explainer, Lina Novazi breaks down what feminism actually means.
In Nigeria, women make up nearly half of the population, yet they often face significant barriers to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Feminism seeks to address these inequalities and promote a more just and equitable society for all. Feminism is not just about women. It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive regardless of gender. It's about challenging harmful stereotypes and biases that holds us back. Feminism is about recognizing that gender-based violence, discrimination, and marginalization are not just women issues but human rights issues that affect us all. So, what does feminism really mean? It means equality, justice, and human rights for all. It means creating a world where everyone can live their lives with dignity and respect.
President Bola Tinubu has extolled the virtue of women as the world celebrates this year's International Women's Day. In a statement he signed on Saturday, President Tinubu praised the resilience, brilliance, and indispensable contributions of Nigerian women, describing them as the strength that powers the country. He said his administration is committed to actualizing the renewed hope agenda, adding that women are the bedrock of the nation as they drive progress from homes to farms, boardrooms, and communities. He regretted that 30 years after the Beijing Declaration, too many still face barriers that limit their potential, and reiterated his commitment to help them attain their full potentials. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has issued a statement in support of women's rights, calling for greater empowerment and inclusion of women in governance. Atiku disclosed this in a statement on X on Saturday as he commemorated International Women's Day. Atiku also expressed concern over the ongoing suppression of women's voices in leadership positions within Nigeria, citing the recent suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduahan. Atiku concluded by expressing his commitment to the protection and advancement of women's rights in Nigeria, saying, "A nation can only progress when its women are given the space and opportunity to thrive." The United Nations has urged women around the world to stand their ground in the face of adversity. The call was made as the world celebrates the 2025 International Women's Day on March 8. According to the human rights group, the International Women's Day is a chance to rise and make the world equal and better for everyone. The UN said there is hope as it lists its progress on women's rights. For 89% of governments, it said ending violence against women is a top priority today, adding that 193 countries have legal measures against it. Data shows that countries with domestic violence laws have seen fewer cases of violence against women. Away from today's celebrations, members of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) are still receiving 33,000 monthly allowance from the federal government, despite the announcement from their Director General, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, that the payment of 77,000 will begin by February 2025. Some members of the Corps who spoke to Trust TV in Lagos said with the continuous payment of 33,000 naira at the end of February, the announcement by the DG has proved to be false. Here's more in this report.
At the Agege Local Government Secretariat in Lagos State, where COP members gather for their clearance and meeting with the local government inspector, officials of the NYSC, amongst them the state coordinator, declined comments on the issue and directed all inquiries about COP members' allowance to the national headquarters in Abuja. However, some COP members in the state lamented the non-payment of the 77,000 naira approved by the federal government, despite assurance from the COP's DG that they will start receiving the payments from the end of February.
Yes, we've been paid, but it's just our normal 33,000 naira. Yes, they promised to pay us 77k, like we've heard from the DG, we've heard from federal government. They said they've added it to the budget, that they will implement it, but we still received 33k for this February month. So that's what I can say about 77k. So they should just, please, if they want to pay us, they should. And if they won't, they should not promise.
In my own view, I really see that as a political declaration, and it has not been effective since last year, whereby we have been told, because a whole lot of families have already pinned their mind that their children are collecting such amounts, and it's so disappointing that we haven't received that amount since last year, whereby that they want to exercise the minimum wage and cutting across down to all COPS member across the whole state. So we haven't received the 77k allowance.
For me, I feel the reason why they have not been able to give us this is because they've not been able to fully put it in the budget, because at one time the budget was reviewed and we were not sure whether they were telling us the truth or not. And we were promised initially by the DG that we're going to be paid this money by this month, but we did not see it. So it is really frustrating because a lot of members have to live on that 38,000, which doesn't really go far, doesn't really do much.
The 77,000, we heard it has been officially announced, but we don't know the reason that it has not been paid, because our current salary was still 33,000, which we were all hoping for 77 to be paid this February, but we don't actually have a valid reason that it has not been paid.
Well, we were paid 33,000 for last month, I think a week ago or so, and even though they told us they would pay 77,000, so still 33,000 so again. I think at this point, I don't know. I feel like we can't really say when they will start making payments, even though they told us that this is when they will start, and repeatedly we've still not gotten paid 77,000.
COP members are calling on the federal government to keep to their promise, as many of them are struggling to cope with the 33,000 naira monthly stipend due to the country's economic hardship.
The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has cautioned students against applying for students' loan through fake portals and websites. A statement by the Director of Corporate Communications of the fund, Osheyemi Oluwatui, on Saturday said while it remains committed to ensuring that eligible students get the student loan, students should be cautious of fake websites posturing as the official website of the fund. He further said the only official portal for student loan applications is www.nelf.gov.ng. The Association of Resident Doctors at the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, Oyo State, on Friday commenced an indefinite strike to press home their demands. The doctors, in a memo titled Notice of Industrial Action, addressed to the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Olawale Olakunleyin, and dated March 6, 2025, stated that the ARD Congress unanimously decided to proceed on the industrial action from 12 a.m. of March 7, 2025 till its demands are met. The notice, signed by the ARD President, Stephen Adedokun, and the General Secretary, Adedapo Mustafa, expressed dissatisfaction over the failure to meet their demands. The demands of the doctors include the non-payment of the minimum wage despite implementing it for other health workers in the state, a significant shortfall in the February salary and breach of agreement that was reached during the management meeting with the unions, deduction of insurance indemnity without the association's approval, neglect of dilapidated call rooms despite appeals, as well as gross manpower shortage across all departments, among others. The doctors, however, sought the immediate refund of shortfall of February salary, payment of new minimum wage with arrears, repair of dilapidated coal rooms, adverts for employment of resident doctors across all departments, payment of accoutrement allowance, refund for update course and examination fees, payment of MRTF, and payment of upgrade arrears for members owed. The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation has informed all federal workers of ongoing salary deductions following overpayments in December 2024 due to a system error. In a Friday statement signed by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Bawa Mokwa, the OAGF explained that overpayments are currently being recovered through deductions from affected workers' salaries. The OAGF said there were no shortfalls in salaries paid to federal workers in January and February 2025, adding that the amounts received during this period reflected normal salaries after the exhaustion of various arrears paid in the last quarter of 2024. Workers had received arrears for the minimum wage, the 25% and 35% salary increase, and wage awards between October and December 2024. The statement noted these additional payments had temporarily inflated salaries, leading some workers to mistakenly believe their January and February salaries had been reduced. Barring any future salary adjustments, the OAGF maintained that the salaries paid in January and February 2025 would remain unchanged until a review by the federal government. This is still News Hour on Trust TV. Still to come. Kano residents speak on importance of giving during Ramadan. More when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that accelerating action for Nigerian women as the world commemorates International Women's Day. We also informed you, defying stereotypes, how Pamela Yakubu is thriving as an automotive painter in a male-dominated industry. To more stories, the Senate leader, Bamidele Opeyemi, has clarified that Senator Natasha Akpotio-Odoahan was suspended for gross misconduct, not because of a sexual harassment allegation she made against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Opeyemi made the clarification in a statement that was made available to newsmen on Saturday. The lawmaker representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District said false narratives are being circulated by certain media organizations on Akpotio-Odoahan's 6-month suspension. Reacting to the aftermath of the suspension, Opeyemi stressed that Akpotio-Odoahan was suspended solely for her persistent acts of misconduct, blatant disregard for the provisions of the Senate Standing Orders 2023, and gross indiscipline. He further said the Kogi lawmaker's suspension was a decision of the Committee of the Whole Senate following the submission of a report by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, Neda Imaswen, adding that the report found her guilty of violating Section 6 subsection 1 and Section 6 subsection 2 of the Senate rules and recommended her immediate suspension. Over in Anambra State, the Governor Charles Oludo has issued a stern warning to roadside preachers using loudspeakers in public spaces, particularly markets, accusing them of causing noise pollution and disturbing residents. Oludo stated that anyone caught violating the noise pollution order would face a 500,000 naira fine. A viral video circulating on social media on Saturday shows the governor warning an unidentified roadside preacher at a market to stop disrupting traders with his preaching.
If you want to preach the word of God, you go to your church. Are you getting me? You are causing pollution. You cannot come to a marketplace and begin to disturb everybody else. Are you getting me? If you want to preach the word of God, you go to a church. The person who wants to come to your church will come to your church. But you don't force everybody. In a marketplace, people have come to trade. It's not a church. So you don't do that. They would have arrested you, contravening the law. Okay? You don't come out and take a space and start preaching. It's noise.
From Anambra, we go to Bauchi State, where residents of Shengen Aba community, popularly known as Mangorori Salib Toro, a suburb of the Bauchi metropolis, has appealed to the state government and other well-meaning Nigerians to come to their aid, as some unknown persons with the aid of security agents have instructed them to vacate their houses, citing an upper Sharia court order. The community head, Shehu Abubakar, made the appeal while speaking with Trust TV on the site development. Adamu Imam completes the report.
Mangororin Saletoro, a suburb of Bauchi, is a developing residential area that comprises middle and lower income earners who have been living here for more than 5 years. But according to residents, on Friday evening, unknown persons stormed their area with some security personnel chasing them out of their houses and locking up their apartments. I am calling on members of the community to remain calm despite the situation on ground, because I am very positive that things will be resolved amicably. I am also calling on the government and other civil society groups to help us intervene, as 70 to 80 households were affected by this court action. Some of the affected residents further explained what transpired amid tears.
We
were inside houses and suddenly people came and started chasing us out and locking our apartments with keys. Those who were residing here have gone back to their parents, while I squat and sleep with other people inside the mosque. Right now I am confused because I have no money to transport me back to where I come from. As a result of the eviction, some people among those who came to evict us went back, broke the fence, and carted away some valuables that we were using at home to manage our lives. We are appealing for help and demanding justice for this inhuman treatment. I was struggling with them not to lock up my house, but with the intervention of community leaders, things did not get out of hand because we were told to obey the court order first before any other step. However, we were shocked to realize that even the boreholes that we usually fetch drinking water from were locked up. This is so unfortunate. While expressing shock that they have never been served any notice of illegal occupation at any time prior to the forced evacuation, they are appealing to the state governor Bala Mohammed to quickly intervene, as many people have been rendered homeless in the holy month of Ramadan amid economic hardship. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
As millions of Muslim faithful worldwide observe the holy month of Ramadan, new converts in Gombe State have joined in the sacred practice of fasting for the first time. Many of them have shared their feelings and motivation, expressing gratitude for the support provided by Islamic organizations to help them successfully observe this important religious duty. Hassan Kohli has more.
Here in Gombe, the spirit of Ramadan is alive as new Muslim converts experience their first ever fast, joining millions across the world in this significant act of worship. For many of them, this moment is both spiritual and emotional as they embrace the principles of patience, devotion, and self-discipline. Several of these new converts spoke about their experiences. I thought I could not make it, despite the fact that I have been fasting as a Christian. However, after converting to Islam, I feel deeply connected to my new faith. Though fasting is not easy, I am motivated by the blessings that come with it. I also feel a strong sense of community and belonging.
I
feel motivated whenever I am reminded of the huge rewards awaiting me hereafter. Also, the Ramadan fast did not affect my household responsibilities. In fact, I am in charge of today's domestic work.
Islamic organizations and local Muslim communities have played a crucial role in supporting these converts, providing food items, prayer materials, and guidance to help them fulfill their Ramadan obligations successfully.
su addinin suke addinin ciyar da su ba su suke tashi su hoɓasa su kawo gudunmawa don ciyar da addinin gaba.
We understand that for new combat, fasting can be challenging, especially for those without strong family support. That is why we provide food for iftar and sahur, along with educational sessions to help them understand the importance of this spiritual journey. However, we recommend that new combat should stay with their families unless they were rejected.
Balma yanzu ya kamata ka san haƙƙinsu, ka kyautata musu, ka ɗauki ɗawainiyarsu.
The support has been a source of encouragement for many, making their first Ramadan experience more fulfilling. With continued guidance and encouragement, these new converts are not only observing Ramadan, but also deepening their faith and connection to the Muslim community. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Ramadan is a time for reflection, fasting, and most importantly, giving. In this report, Kano residents speak on how tradition ensures no one is left behind when it comes to breaking their fast.
During Ramadan, the spirit of charity thrives, uniting people of different classes. Vendors display various options for breaking the fast, reflecting different choices. I prefer those flavors prepared by mixing with water because when breaking my fast, I love the way it tastes and I also love the way it's satisfying. I prefer to take carbonated drinks. That's what I like to take.
I need fresh. Fresh is better. You get energy, you have stamina, you always be healthy.
I prefer fresh fruits like watermelon, oranges, pineapple, and banana. With these contrasting preferences where younger individuals seem to prefer carbonated drinks while older ones opt for fresh fruits, nutritionist Awal Muhammad provides insight into eating habits during Ramadan and why some choices may not be ideal.
What your body did during the 13 hours or 12 hours period, your body try to filter every unwanted substances that can lead to carcinogen or that can lead to ulcer or that can lead to free radicals. But when you take a carbonated drinks, after sweeping your room or you clean your room, you mop it, everything is well clean without any dust or dirty. Now you are invited, now you are taking another dirty, come and spread it all over the room. That's the same thing. So it's even good for the people to use what we call a fresh fruits or vegetable.
Aminu Lawan is at work preparing fruits for a charitable iftar, a tradition he has maintained for over 2 decades. Just as you met me working every year, every day during Ramadan, for the past 25 years, I prepare these fruits to share as gifts with everyone. While Aminu has enough to go round, many struggle to afford their own meals. They depend on gestures like this here at Singa Market, where Muslims come together to receive food for iftar. The spirit of the period bridges the gap between the rich and the less privileged. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was known for his generosity. During Ramadan, he gave even more. So we urge everyone to give, no matter how small. We see both the rich and the poor come together in this market, so we encourage others to also follow this practice. Islamic scholar Sheikh Muhammad bin Uthman highlights the significance of charity during Ramadan.
It's a time to give. Our Prophet ﷺ used to give, just like the wind blows to a certain room. You have to look at how wind blows, for example. How does it? It's not stoppable. So keep on giving in the month of Ramadan. That is what is needed. Give to those in need. Give to the orphans. Give to the indigent. Give to the women that are left with a lot of kids after the demise of the breadwinner. Give to somebody working under you. He is even underpaid. You are paid handsomely. Look at you. There are mouths he has to feed. There are those in need of health care or Medicare. Without money, give.
Certainly, this tradition strengthens community ties, ensuring that no one is left without the means to break their fast. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Political leaders in Nigeria have described the late Sarakin Shasha Haruna Meyensin Katsina as a development-oriented personality during his lifetime. Trust TV correspondent reports that this was part of the tributes in honor of the late Ariwa elder as the news about his death at the age of 125 broke on Sunday in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. Here's more in this report.
It was a black Sunday for the Arewa family as the news of the death of the Ibadan-based northern leader Haruna Meyensin Katsina broke. He was aged 125. Sooner than later, the Akiyemi Ibadan Palace of the late northern traditional leader became jam-packed with sympathizers.
A man of integrity, man of peace, and he's a leader that's called leader. The man that I think I was installed as Sultan Arab Shura in his palace not less than 15 to 17 years back, before me being the Sultan Arab Shura of Oyo State. Our parents are with him for more than 40 years. And they have seen the contribution that he gives to the community, to the religion and the society.
The implication is that, he serves as a leader and like a shield to most of the northerners, the Hausa people in the south. So his demise will create a lot of vacuum, and many people will feel the impact of his demise. So as it is now, people need to put their head together and find a lasting solution individually on the crisis.
The late Katsina, popularly called Sakin Shasha, has served as chairman of the council of the Arewa traditional ruler in the 17 southern states of Nigeria. Some members of the Arewa family describe the deceased as a dependable, reliable, and future-oriented leader.
We will leave a very big vacuum because as an old man, a man with a long experience in getting people together, mending many fences. So I don't think in the next 10 to 5 years, we are just praying to Almighty Allah to give us comfort to bear this blessed.
What really means about Baba is that he pulls us together, he brings us together. Whenever there's a problem, we go to him, we talk to him, and he resolves it amicably. Even though he is in his own domain, we're in our own domain. He was stubborn from here.
In his condolence message, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, says the late northern leader was strong and agile until death. He later presented a mini bus to the family of the deceased as part of the promises he made to the late Meyensin Katsina.
May his perfect, gentle soul rest in peace. That is number one. Baba Shasha is not our enemy. It's our father, it's our grandfather. I would say I would ask God Almighty to forgive all his sins.
My message to Nigeria was that we should all live in peace with each other, especially when we are staying in an area that doesn't really belong. For example, we are all born and bred here in the south. In the southwest part of Nigeria. Not even us, our great-grandfather were all born and bred here, because if you start from time immemorial, you can see that Hausa has been existing right from 1900 to 1905. That's when our grandfathers started coming here as traders. They used to come, bring cattle over and take Kola Nut back to North, and that's how they started.
Former special advisor on Arewa community sympathizers says unto death, the late Meyensin Katsina was an exceptional leader.
Rest in peace. Business, foreign and sports. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's go to business. Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves fell by $1.31 billion in February 2025, reflecting sustained external pressures amid the recent appreciation of the naira. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed the reserves declined from $39.72 billion on January 31, 2025 to $38.42 billion on February 28, 2025, representing a 3.3% drop within the month. The decline in February was slightly higher than the $1.16 billion drop recorded in January, highlighting the continued strain on the country's external reserves. The steady depletion of reserves has raised concerns amid rising speculations that the Apex Bank's sustained interventions in the foreign exchange market aimed at bridging liquidity gaps and stabilizing the naira have come at the cost of reducing external reserves. Despite this, the local currency strengthened significantly against major foreign currencies in February, suggesting that the CBN's efforts have had some positive impact in restoring confidence in the market. Nigeria's reserves recorded a consistent decline throughout February, with no single day of increase. The Securities and Exchange Commission has warned the public against investing in unregistered investment schemes, including Promised Land Estates Limited and Promised Land Building and Construction Limited, which promotes an illegal investment scheme called Provest. In a statement on Friday, the Commission said its attention had been drawn to the activities of these entities, which falsely present themselves as investment advisors and fund managers in the Nigerian capital market. The SEC advised the public to avoid dealing with these entities or their representatives, emphasizing that transacting with unregulated firms exposes investors to fraud and potential financial losses. It advised the investing public to confirm the registration status of any company or entity offering investment opportunities to the Commission's dedicated portal before engaging with them. Away from Nigeria, a South Sudanese general and dozens of soldiers have been killed after a United Nations helicopter trying to evacuate them from the northern town of Nasre came under attack. The UN said Friday's incident, which could deal a blow to an already fragile peace process, was utterly abhorrent and a possible war crime. A power-sharing agreement between President Salva Kiir and First Vice President Riek Machar has been threatened in recent weeks by clashes between the allied forces in the northeastern Upper Nile state. The UN crew was trying to airlift soldiers after heavy clashes in Nasreh between national forces and the so-called White Army, a militia that Kiir's government is linked to forces loyal to Machar, his bitter rival. In a national address announcing the deaths of General Major Dak and other soldiers, Kiir said Machar had assured him and the UN representative that the general would be safe and that the rescue mission should fly to Nasreh to evacuate him and his men. The Information Minister, Michael McCoy, said approximately 27 troops were killed. The town of Kabari, located in South Kivu province, is currently grappling with a severe outbreak of Mpox, a disease primarily transmitted through close skin-to-skin contact. As the situation unfolds, healthcare workers continue to provide treatment despite the overwhelming challenges posed by ongoing conflict in the region. The war in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, which has raged since the beginning of the year, has created a dire situation for both the population and the healthcare system. Medical staff are struggling to meet the rising demand for care with limited resources and constant disruptions. However, they remain dedicated to providing critical support to those affected by the disease. In sports, Nigeria's Flamingos moved a step closer to the 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup after defeating South Africa's 3-1 at the Lucas Muripe Stadium, Pretoria on Saturday. Shakira Moshood gave Nigeria the lead after 20 minutes. Forward Harmony Chidi doubled the Flamingos' lead from the penalty spot 5 minutes before the break. However, skipper Katleho Malebana pulled a goal back for the hosts from the penalty spot 2 minutes after the break. Chidi restored Nigeria's 2-goal lead with her second of the encounter in the 68th minute. Second leg will hold at the Remo Star Stadium, Ikenne, next Saturday. The winner on aggregate will seal a place in the final qualifying round. Still in sports, the National Association of Women in Sports has marked the 2025 International Women's Day in Abuja with a call for more inclusion of women in decision-making and leadership. Trust TV sports reporter Adini Ajisafe has more.
International Women's Day IWD originated in the early 20th century to promote women's rights, honor women's achievements, and advocate for gender equality. The theme for 2025 IWD: Accelerate Action, Invest in Women, celebrate women as a blessing to homes, community, country, and the world at large. In Nigeria, women in sport have added value in competitions and administration, in parasport, track and field, football, basketball, and lots of sporting events, hence the need to celebrate them. It was in the light of the above that the Women Commission of the Nigerian Olympic Committee commemorated the International Women's Day in Owerri, Lagos, and Abuja with chapters of NAWIS holding rallies, seminars, and other enlightenment activities to promote women empowerment and inclusion of equality in sport. While appearing on Trust TV Weekend Sport, a female sport enthusiast, Tenny Balogun, called for more inclusion of women in decision-making due to their positive impact in sport development.
Doing sports is, something that just helps me keep going. It's beyond just the physical activity. It's right now I could literally say sports is a religion for me. It's something that always keeps me going, distracts me, helps me unwind, and I would always say people should do more sports recreationally.
Tenny, who mentioned Asista Oshoala as her inspiration to key into sport, further spoke on women in sport.
Right now, I am really inspired by Asisa Oshoala. I think she has been one athlete that has shown resilience time and time again. So she has won the African Women's Best Player over and over and over again. You would think after all of that she would relax, but no, she continues to push her boundaries, and that I find inspiring.
The 2025 International Women's Day event had chairperson NAWIS FCT chapter Gloria Ekwempo, FCT Director of Sport Dili Oyedima, Sylvester Ikujamoye, former president of FESGA, among others, in a two-pronged activity of medical outreach and all-gender novelty sporting event at Old Parade Ground, Abuja. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajisafe.
And that's a wrap for News Hour tonight. For more of our news programs and documentaries, to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Don't forget to help in accelerating action for gender equity. Good evening and happy International Day.